represent the Plainview Township exclusively in Sampson County with Senator Jackson and the rest of the county. So the question kind of centers on that. Representing only one township in Sampson, how do you see us in Plainview in comparison to the rest of your district?
I look at it, and here's how I do, like when I appropriate money, I look at the folks I represent. So like Plainview, I think we've done $200,000 for this building, if I remember right. But when we get appropriations, I look at the area I represent: Lee County, Harnett County, and Sampson County. All of Lee, all of Harnett in this area of Sampson. I'll tell you a secret, you all vote for me 83% of the time, which is fantastic, and I love you. I hope you keep supporting me like that. So I look at it as being very important, and so that's why, as I said, if somebody calls from here, and some of you call needing my help in my office, and if you'll talk to some of your friends, they know that I will call our office and make sure that we take care of it.
Thank you, Senator. One other question. How do you see northern Sampson County fitting into the new economic order that's coming about in Harnett and Johnston County and Cumberland County?
Yeah, folks, one of the things you all have that a lot of people don't have is you've got tons of land, and you've got power, and you've got water. One of the big things we're faced with right now, we have 3 different data centers that are looking at coming to North Carolina. Each of those will use the energy of a full nuclear plant. Now think about that. That's a concern because, as we're growing, we need more energy. I was talking with the Duke folks last week as we were getting ready for the storm, and we had a meeting, and we were just talking about what's going on. And, they've announced a new small modular nuclear plant, but I'm wanting them to build a new base plant in Sharon Harris that would support this area. Folks, you're not going to grow economically if you don't have water, power, and land to do, and a workforce. And you're like Harnett County. A lot of your people leave the county every day to go to work. I track out migration of areas, and you all are having the same problem. We got a lot of people, and a lot of people would like to stay here closer.
This is throwing this one in. You've been talking a lot about economic development, the influx of population. As a generation of North Carolinian as you are, as many of us are here, what does that look like, fortunately, for our state? Are we in the Senate? How's the Senate view the overall culture of the state with the influx of people? How do we hang on to what it means to be North Carolinian?
Well, I jokingly and tell folks that we have so many people moved. This past year, we were the 3rd most moved in state. That's according to U-Haul and everybody else. It was Texas was first, Florida was second, we were 3rd, and that's where I got those. And the numbers I gave you are straight from the Secretary of Commerce. He gave me those figures. I did the North Carolina Economic Forecast the first part of January at Campbell Law School, and I was telling them some of my concerns. And I serve on, like I said, healthcare, but also do a lot of work on child care, do a lot of work. And folks, we got to do something about child care. We had 70 child care centers closed last year. People can't work, especially women, if they don't have child care. So I served with the Lieutenant Governor. The Governor asked me, a Republican, and the Lieutenant Governor to chair a task force on child care. So we did a year-long, we did every quarter for a year, then we just issued our report, and you can go online and get that. But I think we've got better days ahead. Now, something I'm very concerned about is the whole thing with artificial intelligence. I serve on the National Artificial Intelligence and Healthcare Committee, and folks, we need to be very concerned about artificial intelligence in our kids. I introduced the bill. I was one of the primaries on it. I introduced the first bill to take the cell phones out of schools. I've been talking about it for 7 years, and we finally did it, and the results have been fantastic. Scores are up across the state, discipline's down. I have superintendents calling me from everywhere talking about that. So there's a lot of other things that we're working on, and I'm watching the time really closely. So as soon as you give me the button, that's it. Thank you. Thank you all. I hope you vote for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator.